Hi guys, Brett and Brittany here. We are going to do the shows that we watch. Either I watch by myself or he watches with me. I have everything on sidereel.com. It's awesome to keep track of your shows. At the top it has a little, like a weekly calendar type thing, and it has what comes on this week and what times and stuff. And then it keeps track where you can mark off every single episode you've watched, so you know exactly where you're at. If you're behind a couple seasons, like I am with some stuff, or have been with items and stuff.
Right.
I've been behind on them, and it keeps track. So we know exactly what episode we're on and what time it comes back on, and you have it where you can turn on to the upcoming shows, the current shows, the hiatus, or
But
the
these shows are
concluded.
definitely worth watching week after week, and
Some of them, we'll tell you which ones we kind of have that we just watch, you know, if we're all caught off on everything else and stuff. So we're not going to give away spoilers, I'll tell you that. I don't like giving away spoilers.
No.
So this is just, you know, our adult shows that we watch, and probably not adult shows. No.
just kidding.
But, you know, and just a little bit about them. So I have them here. I think they're in ABC order. So Dracula, the new Dracula, comes on NBC.
The only reason we really watched this was because we were really into The Tudors. It was an original series on HBO. I think there was 6 or 7 seasons. But Jonathan Rhys-Meyer, I mean, he was pretty good in that show. I think he played King Henry really well.
I think so.
So we're like, well, sure, let's watch Dracula. We were kind of not sure because it was on NBC, and I know they're notorious for
NBC
canceling.
loves to cancel stuff.
Now broadcasting currently, or I forgot what.
It's
somebody
on
made a show.
hiatus currently, it says. So
This is just the first season of this, though.
it is the first season. We're behind. We're on episode 9, so we've gotten behind on it. But I think he makes a good Dracula.
So far, it seems like it's a good show. It seems like they're going to keep it, kind of going. It's set back in, I think, like the early 1910s or something in London. Back in the 30s, maybe. I don't know. But
Somewhere around there. Early 1900s.
It's a pretty good show so far.
It's good.
We like it. It's kind of the one that we kind of, we've watched everything else. Let's watch this and catch up.
We like it, but we're not, oh my god, it's coming on.
Right.
So far. I mean, it could pick up to where we would be like that. Duck Dynasty. We were on a kick where it's season 5. It is current A&E.
It's been on 5 seasons.
That's hard to believe.
That is hard to believe. I feel like it hasn't been on that long.
We didn't catch on the bandwagon the first couple seasons, though.
Right.
We bought them and watched them. But
They're...
it was really funny in the beginning, I think, but now I feel like it's starting to get a little
They're so
staged.
rehearsed, I feel like. Yeah, it's very much staged. I keep reading all this stuff everywhere about, stuff about the family, like
I
their
love their
background
values
stuff.
and stuff, though. I love, like, their prayers at the end and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love for our family to get together like that.
They do have good values, but their past, it feels like a lot of their pasts are really shady.
If you watch the I Am Second about them, they have a past, and I mean, it kind of shows you where they get their religion and stuff from.
Right, but I mean, and that's cool that they turn to God for how, they kind of had rough pasts and everything, which this has nothing to do with the show. We're just kind of give you a heads up. But, it's kind of like it really, really got commercialized, and now that they've partnered with Walmart, it's just like they're so commercialized, and
we haven't watched but 3 episodes of this season. We've just kind of, our last episode was before January 29th.
Right.
So we just got,
it's a good show. It definitely has its funny moments, but like Brittany said, it's just really, really getting kind of repetitive, and I feel like everything is very much staged. Like it's not coming natural anymore.
It'll be one of those, once we get caught up on everything else, we'll probably go back and watch them.
Yeah. But they're good. They're good.
It's good. It's one that you don't really have to watch every single episode on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it's just on, you can just turn it on and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Face Off, sci-fi, and is current. I like Face Off. This is season 6.
We started watching, I think, season 3.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't catch the first 2 seasons.
Season 3 all in one day,
Right.
so that we could watch season 4 that was starting that night.
But with the sci-fi thing, it was like Face Off came out, and then not too long after that was The Hot Set, which we actually have not even
I
watched.
had it on our list to watch, and I think it was at that time of the year where everything else was on, and we just never got around to watching it. I like Face Off. It's a
good show.
It's a movie like mask and movie art, like face creatures.
What am I trying to think of?
I can't think of what.
Makeup and design. Makeup and every week they get a challenge to where like, okay, well this week we're gonna design Alice in Wonderland characters, but they're gonna be zombies, or this week you're gonna create a type of a dragon.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool how these
really
people,
neat.
Every single person I've seen on there is very, very talented. They have, turning just plaster and stuff and making like these really awesome makeups.
I would love to be able to do it.
Right. If you've never seen, just at least watch one episode how it goes, and I think that you'll like it.
Somebody gets kicked off. It is reality, so somebody gets kicked off every episode. But the reality part of it, they seriously show them in the house for maybe 3 minutes in the beginning, so it's not all the in the house drama with you get reality
It gets
shows.
a little drama whenever they're because they're pushed to make this makeup and design.
Sometimes
within 3
they're on
days.
teams, so that gets a little. But I mean, it's not like your housewives or anything like that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a pretty good show. The judges are all the people that they use for the judges. There's 3 judges. They're all people that are within Hollywood, like the makeup design and stuff like that. So it's people that know their stuff.
And then they usually have a guest show or a guest judge too.
Some episodes, yeah. So it's pretty good.
It's good. You should watch it at least once. And this is season 6.
Right.
Heart of Dixie, CW, current, and season 3. Heart of Dixie is my favorite. My top favorite show, I'd say. I love Heart of Dixie. Like, Rachel Benson is just, or Bilson, sorry, I say names horribly. She is hilarious, and I love it. And, I have my people that I'm rooting for, which of course I won't tell you in case your season's behind, but I have my couples, I root for and everything, and I get so, upset when they don't end up together and things, and I just get all sunken in. But it's about this New York doctor, and she finds out that she has family roots down in Alabama. I'm pretty sure Alabama. And sorry if I'm wrong. I know I said it's my favorite. But she finds out that, she gets this doctor practice and all this stuff in this little, town. I mean, they have, heritage festivals every week and all these crazy things.
Kind of like Doc Hollywood.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Doc Hollywood. But it's hilarious and it's so good and it's so sweet and I just love it. Season 3.
She'll watch it sometimes and I'll just kind of glance at it. I won't really pay attention. But
it's funny though, you have to admit.
Okay, it's okay.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This season 1, it is still current and it is a ABC show. We are behind on it. The last time we watched was before December 10th. Sorry, I'm yelling.
It's good. We definitely started watching it just because it had to do with Marvel. And in the very first episode, they mention about...
they mention almost every episode. They mention about...
something to do with the aliens,
Avengers and
which
stuff.
are like the Avengers. The guy that plays Agent Coulson in the movies, I know Thor for sure. Well, and the Avengers. He actually plays in this show. He's their main star. But it's been really good. It's an ABC show, and it's been good.
I don't know why we got
behind
on This is new, and it comes on after Face Off. It's on after Face Off, and then it's on the next day, too. It's kind of like the American Idol style, where they have an episode, and then they have the elimination episode.
Basically, what the show is, it is Opposite Worlds.
It's a reality show.
It's a reality show.
Sci-fi.
It's 2 teams. One of them set in the year 3000s or whatever, the future.
3000s, yeah.
And then the other one's set in the
80
prehistoric past. Well, we are in 80.
Are we in 80? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyways, it's the prehistoric times. So it's cavemen versus really far advanced civilization. And it's just trying to see who can last, who's the stronger.
They do. We've only watched apparently
2 episodes.
2 or 3 episodes of it. But they do challenges and stuff, and if they win the challenge, then they get to switch worlds. And I don't.
So far, I don't think they've done that.
We're behind. We are behind. We're a couple weeks behind. So I don't know if they switched or not. So, but I mean, it's the first season this has ever been on. You get online and you vote who your favorite is, and your favorite gets a prize. And then you vote who your least favorite is, and they get punished.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know. That sounds bad.
It's kind of like they have the reality. You know, they have the reality of this is the drama of living in the past and the drama of living in the future. But then when they do their challenges, I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. Like, because it's actual
like
challenges.
Gladiator.
Yeah, it's kind of like Gladiator.
Guts, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, not Guts. They don't kill anybody.
No,
but...
Guts off of.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It used to be Nickelodeon.
Fear
I think.
Factor stuff like that.
Oh yeah, kind of Fear Factor. I guess so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
But it's a pretty good show.
Pretty Little Liars, which is a very common show. Season 4, current ABC Family. I am behind a couple episodes. I was really behind, but I got caught up before this season started. And I don't know.
From what I've seen,
I'm not as much on the bandwagon as everybody else is. I keep getting on the bandwagon and then falling off. It's just...
It's because it's kind of repetitive. It's like, okay, we get it.
I'm ready to figure it all out.
Right.
I'm ready for it.
Why
to
isn't
be
anyone
done.
calling the police? Why aren't the police getting involved in this?
The police are always involved in it.
And I don't understand, if there's still this killer out
Yeah.
or whatever, and then it's multiple people one week, and then it's one person, and I don't know. It's just oops. I
just
well,
did that, didn't I?
Yeah, which leads me to Ravenswood, which she doesn't actually watch. I watched
the first episode and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So we watch at nighttime, and I didn't want to watch it before we went to bed because it bugged me a little bit.
So she just kind of.
I heard it's really good though, but it ties in. I just exited off of 2 episodes of that, so remind me to switch that later.
Okay.
But it ties in with Pretty Little Liars with Caleb and everything, and I guess him and Hannah still talk back and forth about Ravenswood. I don't know. My mom's told me because they watch it, and she said it's really good, and that I just need to suck it up and watch it so that I kind of realize what's going off because they're playing off each other.
The
but
girls are hot.
I'm not really.
That's the only
sure.
good thing about the show.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Rachel versus Guy Celebrity Cook-Off, which actually the last episode was just on.
Right.
It's on Food Network.
Who won? Did Herschel win?
I'm not telling you.
Well,
I don't want you to know, but I don't want to spoil it.
Oh yeah, never mind. We did watch the final episode.
We kind of came in and out of it.
It's
good. It's Rachel Ray versus Guy Ferrari. Is that right? Okay, and it's their cook-off. They each have teams, and people get eliminated and stuff like that.
I like watching the recipes that they make. It's really interesting how people come up with all these, things that I've never even thought of making. And, I thought, it's a good show. It is the reality, somebody gets eliminated every week, and so...
I like MasterChef better, though, which isn't on my list for some reason. I'm not really sure.
I like Rachel Ray, but she's very loud and obnoxious.
Guy's loud, too.
Guy, I love Diners, Drive-In, and Dives, but he just doesn't need to talk on the show. I think it would be a lot better without him. But, I mean, they're just both kind of loud. They have that, I guess, TV personality, whatever. At least Paula Deen didn't shout, But they're, both really, really loud. So that's the only downfall in the show.
Right. Raising Hope, which is current and on Fox, and we're behind. We got behind because we started doing that Disneyland Connect. I talked about that a while back. But we did beat Disneyland Connect, so we're going to start doing our shows again. But Raising Hope, hilarious.
It's a good show. It is funny, and it is Fox, and it's a good show.
It's a good show.
They
it's funny.
Keep with the storyline. You don't necessarily have to watch every episode to be, to know really what's going on. But
it helps to watch every episode, though.
Right. They're
on season 4.
They follow a path because the show's called Raising Hope, so obviously you guess it's raising a kid, Hope. But, it's gotten
good.
far.
It's funny. It's really funny. It'll give you some good laughs.
Yeah.
Okay. Revolution, which is current and on NBC, and I'm pretty sure it's on season 2 or finishing up season 1. We are behind. We just found this show, so we were watching it on Netflix.
I'd
So we're
seen
not-
posters and advertisements for it a lot, and I was like, that might be worth watching. And
What I've heard about
So
it though
far.
is, I mean, we like it so far, but I heard someone told me the other day that it's not really going anywhere. It's just kind of like slowly
But
moving.
it's on
season 2, and I like it. I like the first season. It's just one of those. It's getting hard for me to get into it because there's so many other shows that I'd rather watch. But I think if I was to get caught up with everything else, I could stay caught up with it. And then Carrie Diaries, which just went on hiatus. It's CW. I was not on the bandwagon at first until I got caught up with all my other shows, and I was like, I was bored. It was on Netflix, so I was like, why not?
you're a year behind on that one, by the way.
Oh, I'm a year behind. Oh, I am a year behind on Switch to Birth. I'm a year behind. Sorry, it said January 7th.
I only knew that because the Carrie Diary, she's present to 2014, so.
Yeah, I watched that one.
But anyways,
But yeah, okay, so Switch to Birth. I'm like nowhere near caught up. So, okay. Carrie Diaries. It just went to hiatus. CW. I like it. I believe
that
it
is
just
a
has season
CW
2.
show. Okay, that's a CW. That I just
It's
kind of
funny.
popped in and I watched it with her, and I mean, it's kind of the
It's quirky.
drama. I like how it's set in like the 80s.
Mhm.
A young Carrie Bradshaw, and I've seen one episode of Sex and the City. and
I've never seen Sex in the City, but
wanted
I
to
like the
kill
Carrie Diaries.
myself. I wanted to kill myself. I just didn't like it.
I know nothing about Sex in the City. I know none of the characters
Well,
except
now you
for
have to
Carrie
start
now.
watching that, which I don't know how far they are. That's apparently it's a
Is
pretty
it still
popular
on?
show. I don't know.
We have no idea.
Maybe
Carrie
not.
Diaries, it's cute, it's quirky, it's your teen show.
It's okay.
The Originals, I'm a few episodes behind. It is a branch off Vampire Diaries. If you watch Vampire Diaries, it's the Originals. And it's their show. It's current, it's CW. I like it. I got behind on it though. I don't like it as much as Vampire Diaries, I will give you that. But it's good. It's good. I just like Vampire Diaries more. Which is the next one. Vampire Diaries. Current. Vampire Diaries is like Heart of Dixie. I watch it that night. CW is so good about getting them online that same night. I watch it that night. Both of those. Vampire Diaries. Season 5. Absolutely love it. CW. It's awesome. I mean, it's your teen show, but I mean, it has vampires and werewolves and witches, and I mean, I don't know how
watched
to
one
explain it.
episode and I wasn't very impressed, so maybe that's not a good judgment, but
And I love Ian. Vampire
I
Diaries.
love
It's
Ian.
definitely worth a watch. Yes, you have to watch every single episode. Every single episode to know what's going on. Or else you will be lost.
apparently. Don't even count that one. Here's the other one.
True Blood.
We heard that this next season, season 7, is going to be the last one that they do. Really, when we started watching it, I was like, I'm not really sure about this, but HBO is notorious for putting out really good shows. True Blood has been a really, really good show. It's been one of those that you're suspenseful after almost every episode. You're like, oh my gosh, something always happens within the last 5 minutes, and we really got into it, and it's been a really, really good show. And as it unfolds, like if you've never watched it, you at least need to watch season 1. Well, then you'll end up watching all of them once you watch an episode, because it folds out, and it really, I think it's a really good show. It's gotten kind of weird, and then it's gotten, normal again, and I think that they did a really good job with it, and I like all the people that are on it, so it's a good show.
Trying to figure out why it's not showing all of our shows, because I know there's shows that
What was the next one
watch.
after that, after True Blood?
The one after True Blood. I love True Blood. Well, now True Blood's not even on there because it's on hiatus currently. It is an HBO show.
Why don't you stop checking that? Unless you want to watch
I
it.
want to watch those.
Okay.
Under the Dome.
Just...
It's on hiatus. It's CBS. It's based off Stephen
We
King.
watched all
We
those,
watched
didn't
all
we?
those. It's a good show.
It's good.
It's good.
It's really weird, but so far it has been a really
You
good
have
show.
to try out a couple episodes.
to kind of understand
to
what's going
kind
on.
of get it, but it's
the
good.
season finale though left you definitely on a cliffhanger, and
Yeah,
we're
so
waiting for season 2.
We definitely have to watch season 2. Witches of Easton, that's Lifetime, and I kind of picked up on watching that after Army Wives went off, which I did. Random Army Wives is, concluded, but they are in March, I believe the 21st, don't quote me. They're having their final goodbye show. I just saw that. It pulled up on my Facebook yesterday. So if you're an Army Wives fan, just so you know, they're having their final goodbye show. But
so they can leave the Real Housewives of Miami and Dallas and all those stupid shows on, but then they take off Army Wives, which I watched one of the Army Wives with her. I mean, it was okay.
So good. Army Wives, I mean, that's one of those you get stuck in. When they cry, you cry. I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. But Witches of Easton, I mean, it was pretty good. It was good. It is on hiatus. It is Lifetime. It was interesting. I'm not real sure if I loved it, but I definitely liked it. I mean, it had me where I loved it, and then I kind of lost interest, but then I came back to it and finished out the season. I mean, it left you on the cliffhanger, for sure. Not on our list, for some reason, not pulling up, The Walking Dead.
Yeah, why was that on there?
I don't know what's going on.
The Walking Dead has definitely been, we watched season 1, and it was just one of those things of it started, and after the first episode, I was like, I think we're really, really going to like this show, because it was just one of those, it's just, I don't know, it's just really, I like how they, the characters that they've used, it pisses you off, it really pisses you off, and it definitely has a bunch of cliffhangers, and you get mad, and then, good things happen, and then really bad things happen, and it's just, it's the, zombie apocalypse kind of deal, and it, after season 1, we started watching it. Now it changes every single season, which is good.
Their location pretty much changes almost
They give you a new point of
season.
view, and it's
Right now, it's pretty crazy.
It is.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We love it. Sad to say, Riley really likes watching it.
Yeah.
He gets excited when Walking Dead comes on. But
it has been really good. I was impressed with it. I wasn't sure, how good it was going to be.
A lot of people can't get past the blood, like the blood and guts. I mean, it is a
very
comment
gruesome,
series that you think we'd be interested in after reading all this. Also not on our list, Once Upon a Time. I love Once Upon a Time. Of course, we're big Disney fanatics. ABC, of course. It's on a mid-season break, but I think it's getting ready to come back on. And
was it mid-season or was that a finale?
I think it's mid-season.
That was kind of.
It's
it really
mid-season.
took a spin that we weren't expecting, and it kind of got repetitive, and I mean, I'm still not 100%. I kind of liked it when it started.
I love it.
And it's just kind of like going up and down. I don't know. It's kind of going up and down. I mean,
Yeah, it's mid-season.
It's decent.
It's
I like
good.
I mean, I like it.
It's
though.
really good.
It follows along all the different, characters
I think
that
so.
Disney has done in the past, and
Yeah, it's like your storybook characters. I mean, it has, your Cinderella, your Belle, your Snow White, and Charming, and all these people.
right.
I mean, it has Pinocchio and everybody, so it has your Disney characters. Also related to that would be Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, which they are concluding, but I saw they're going to finish out the season before they conclude it. So it's on a mid-season break right now, but
it was one of those shows that I think that it could have been good, but there's just not enough storyline to it.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they
okay.
didn't think it out before they did it enough. They're just like, oh, we're going to do this, and here's a few ideas, and went ahead with it rather than planning it out better. I mean, it's good, but
Yeah.
I heard it's getting concluded.
I
after
just
this
wish
season.
that they would have made the setting. I mean, I'll give that away. The setting doesn't really make you think of Wonderland. Like, it's just kind of like they're walking through the woods. There's not really a whole lot in there.
It has the characters, but yeah, it's not
But you don't
like
have
your
an
giant
environment.
mushrooms and stuff like
Right.
that as much.
They really left out, like, I mean, a lot of it. It
The
just feels like
feel.
they're in the wilderness, and that's basically it. And then randomly you have a giant castle, and I think they could have done a lot more with it.
It could have went somewhere. I really think it could have.
I didn't understand though because they tied in Jafar with this, with the Alice in Wonderland part, and you'll get to that. I mean, I'm not giving anything away. They tied in like the Jafar and the genie into this series, and I don't know if that was a good move. I mean, they probably could have just stuck with the Alice in Wonderland characters, but I guess they had to have, you know, a.
I see them in the future maybe linking it to Once Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Bringing them
They
in.
should have just, I mean, I guess it was just an attempt to do a spin-off, but they probably would have just been better if
Just
they would have
bringing them onto
incorporated
Once Upon
it,
a
you know.
Time. And I don't know if they're going to do that. I think they
Probably
probably
not.
could, but I don't know. I think they could tie it in.
Yeah.
Okay, another one that's not on here, Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
What, we're on season 3, I believe.
Something like that.
I believe season 3 of Once Upon a Time and Revenge are right there together. I believe it's season 3. Don't throw rocks if I'm wrong.
Through the camera.
Yeah. But
Revenge is one of those shows. It's been very up and down. The
it's,
whole point of the show is actually really good.
mm-hmm.
Season
Revenge
1 was
is the whole point.
yeah. Season 1 was really good. Season 2, it's kind of like okay.
It drug on a little bit, and you're kind of like, okay, come on, let's go. Season 3,
It picked
was
up
really
a lot,
good.
but I don't. It's one of those shows I don't know how long it's going to be able to last because it's kind of like it's at the end of its road. But
just for the fact, not because the show, you know, it's kind of like, it's at the end of this road. Just because the whole, like,
The
I feel like the
storyline.
storyline is getting ready to be done. I mean, the whole point of the Revenge is almost over or whatever.
which they
But I
kind
don't
of
know. They
switched
kind of
it.
they
you
did a
know.
swap, just like Wonderland or Once Upon a Time. They
They just tried.
did a
They
swap.
threw something in to kind of mix it up, and both of those kind of relate to each other really, you know, a lot. But
as far as
don't
where they
know.
are in the show, yeah. I mean, both of them, you're like, oh, it's finalized, it's done, and then all of a sudden they throw this thing and just mosh posh it and turn it, and you're like, what just happened?
but it's one of those that you know we'll keep up with just to watch them. But
I like both of them. I mean, those are ones that we, you know, we try to watch when it's on if we can get the boys, you know, occupied and stuff. We'll try to watch it when it's on because, you know, we really do like it. But yeah.
Game of Thrones. That's one that we did
Oh
not
my
mention.
gosh.
Speaking of the HBO, yeah, Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is really, really good.
Oh.
I've not read any of the books or anything.
I
and-
wanted to read the books and I had them in the cart to buy at Walmart, and Brett's like, no, you can't know what happens before
Right.
me.
They, I don't even know what season that was. Well, we had the first 2 seasons. I guess the end of season 3 was so messed up that we were
Season
just
3.
like, oh my gosh, it completely twisted everything.
If anybody has watched and kept on it, you know season 3.
And you get so excited because you're pulling for the characters, and then all of a sudden, you know, you just get an axe dropped on you. You're like, did that seriously just happen?
It's funny because if you're caught up, seriously watch the YouTube reactions to the Red Wedding because it's hilarious. Because that's seriously like how I was, and I know probably everybody was. You're just like,
The whole time I was like,
yeah, you're just like, what just happened?
but
But Game of
it
Thrones
is
is
a really,
amazing.
really good show, and they have done a good job of kind of.
It does have
each
some of your
season.
X-rated, like True Blood. I mean, it's kind of risque in some parts,
Yeah.
but True Blood's definitely worse on the risque part than
Right.
Game of Thrones.
But they've kept it, you know, the storyline's been very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something happens in every episode, so you're not just kind of like, okay, you know, whatever.
They're very well written.
Mhm.
They're awesome. I mean, we really, really, really. Like
I don't
Game
really
of
think,
Thrones.
to come to think of, I can't think of an HBO show that has ever been really bad. I mean,
The only real, I mean, like we didn't watch the Californication or anything like that. We watched
Right.
The Tudors, True Blood, and Game
Tudors
of
was
Thrones,
really
and
good, yeah.
we've loved every single one of them. I mean, I think HBO is going to be one of those. Either you like it, or either you love it, or you don't like it.
Right.
So, but yeah, I think that's it. I don't know why my side rails was messed up, but I think they might be doing
we might be
work
missing
on
something. I think we hit everything, but
it.
yeah, I would like to know
Oh no,
suggestions.
Grimm.
Oh yeah, we are
Grimm.
missing. Why are we missing so many shows?
I don't know. Side rail must be messed up tonight. Usually
Yeah.
it doesn't do that, guys.
Yeah, real quick, Grimm.
Grimm.
Season 1 we were kind of like, okay, you know, it was okay. Season 2 we were kind of more getting into, and we're like, oh, okay, because they started following more of a storyline. Season 1, every episode was a little different.
Little different. They kind of tied in slowly. Season 2, they tied in.
They've done it more in Season 2. They've stuck with more of a storyline, but you still have it's almost a case by case every single show.
Season 3 is still case by case, but they are really connecting. I mean, you have your cases, but then behind your case, you have your story.
Right.
And it's about the Grimm fairy tales. It's what the Grimm fairy tales are based off of. So you have your average everyday people that, are Vessen, which Vessen is, a branch of, well, they're going to know, even if they watch the first episode, they know that. I mean, it's a branch of some type of...
You learn once you start watching
a creature,
episodes, right?
I'll say, a creature. Right. And the characters in it, they picked the perfect characters.
Yeah, they did. It's a really good show.
It's good. It's NBC, which makes me nervous, but I
think it's one of those shows that's going to hold on for quite a while.
I think it'll hold on.
Now, what she almost forgot to mention is her biggest
Sidereal, seriously. Okay.
I don't know how she forgot these.
CW, Reign, Season 1, current. My favorite show right now.
It's about Mary...
Queen of Scots
and her story of her going to France and everything, and it's a pretty good show. Love it. It has some characters that were in the Tudors that we mentioned earlier. It has some of them in there. I think there's 2, and it's been pretty good. She's really into it. It has
Nostradamus in it. I'm really into it. I really, really like it.
She likes it because it's the love triangle fighting, one girl, 2 guys.
But usually, you can ask for it. Usually, right off the bat, I have my go-to couple in Reign, and I just can't pick. I cannot pick. I sit there all the time. I'm like, who is it? Which one do I like better?
But it's been pretty good.
I can't decide. It's really good. Another one that I forgot, Grey's Anatomy.
She watches.
Don't ask me what season we're on. It's on I'm pretty sure it's on a mid-season break, or it might be on a hiatus break. I'm not real sure. I don't have the information pulled up for it. But Grey's Anatomy, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's so good. Just when you think, you got it all figured out, of course, they kill somebody off or bring somebody on.
A plane crashes or...
Yeah. A plane crashes and kills like 3 main characters or something, or, it's just... Grey's Anatomy keeps you on your feet. It is. It's just constantly, you're like, oh my god, what?
Yeah.
So, I hope they keep it on for a while, but I think they're like, gosh, like season 8, 9, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, somewhere under there. Oh my gosh.
The spin-off to it too, Private Practice. She told me about that a lot, and it's concluded.
Yeah, that concluded a while back. So.
There's not a whole lot that we've watched that have concluded. And like I said, we have our odd and end shows that we'll just turn on, whatever. We
like starting new shows. I mean, sometimes we get lost though because we get so many shows on all at once. Because of course, if you're a show guru, shows that all come on at once. You have your spring shows and your fall shows and your winter shows and your summer shows, and it's just it's constant. And when they come on, they're all on and everything. So
just our random TV stuff that we watch real quick was I was going to mention, I mentioned earlier, diners, drive-ins, and dives, like Food Network channels we really like, the different foods and stuff, like places around the country that have certain foods, and it's cool when you look on there and you've seen places that you've actually gone.
And I actually look up Man versus Food.
Yeah.
I look up all their restaurants that they go to before we take a trip to a city to see, where they've been and stuff.
That was a good show. That was a good one. We watched a lot of the HGTV, like Love It or List It was one we watched for a while.
And the
repetitive
renovations.
Yeah, the brothers, the 2 brothers, whatever their names are.
Yeah.
I think they're kind of like a, Love It or List It too. It's kind of the same idea. We've been watching, I'll sit here, I watched 2 episodes of Mystery Diner, and I thought those were pretty cool, like when they find out, things going on in the restaurant. The restaurant makeover one, what was that one? With the big, bulk muscle guy, Restaurant Impossible or something?
Oh my god, yeah.
He comes in and restarts that restaurant.
Oh my god, I can't think of his name.
He's the British, he's the British, like, big chunk guy. Like, he's, I don't know.
I love his description of people.
Well,
can't
mean,
think
the
of his
big
name.
muscle guy, I don't know.
Oh my God.
But anyways,
Yeah.
we watched that, and, we watched a few episodes. This past holiday season, we watched The Great Light Fight, and
The
that
boys
was pretty good.
love that.
Yeah.
Which
with
we try to go all out with Christmas lights. For nothing like that, I
people
would
decked out
love
their
to be
house
that
at
way.
Christmas.
I'd love to be like that. That's like my goal in life.
I don't know, there's just so many. I mean, it's TV, We don't.
Our TVs are always on, whether we're watching it. I mean, we'll have something on, no matter what. It's just always in the background. So, I mean, no, we don't sit on our asses all day and just watch TV and let our kids roam free or anything.
Yeah, I have to work sometimes,
I
But-
mean, we do stuff with our kids and everything. Like I said, we watch our shows after they go to sleep, and but our TVs are always on. So
Yeah, working from home is not too easy when you have, your your kids in your background watching SpongeBob or something, and then your wife.
I hate SpongeBob. He keeps
Watching.
bringing him up. I absolutely hate SpongeBob.
Your wife watching a show on her tablet or her phone or whatever, So it's,
Yeah.
But yeah, she's dragged me into a lot of shows. I used to not really be into watching
He
shows at
used
all.
to not watch any shows, and I was like, "Oh, you gotta try it." I think it all started with Once Upon a Time.
Well, no, I can't really think of the first series
That
we
was
watched
the
together.
first one. Once Upon a Time, you came home from work, and I was like, "Hey, you have to watch this." And it slowly spiraled into, "Oh, let's."
When we first got together, though, I mean, when we,
We didn't watch anything then.
when we first started living together, well, I guess then
Now
we
we're
just
big
lived off we just lived off Netflix.
Yeah, we watched your Family Guy more than anything when we first got together. I watched all my shows while you were off at work. But yeah, I think it started with Once Upon a Time and Revenge. And I was like, I watched the first, I think, like 2 or 3 episodes. I was like, oh my God, I have to talk about this. So you have to watch it. So I have somebody that I can sit here and be like, can you believe that just happened?
And she's done the same with movies, which we'll get into that another time, but just like, the Twilights, the, not, I still don't really care for those, but,
I don't really like them
like the
anymore. Catching
Catching
Fires.
Fire.
Oh,
Well,
Divergent.
No, the Hunger Games, sorry, the Hunger
Yeah.
Games. And then she keeps leading me on about the Divergent.
yeah, I'm like, oh my
which-
God, I can't wait till the Divergent. You're gonna love it.
The
You're gonna
Hunger
love
Games
it.
books have been very good, so I'm waiting to see how they turn out.
Yeah.
I've got her into The Hobbit and stuff like that. I did get her into those.
We will save movies for a different
Yeah, this is
for a
a whole
different
nother
time.
video.
That's a whole nother time.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little spiel about our TV shows. If you guys have any that you think, current or even hiatus that we can look up or buy the seasons for that you think we'd like,
On Netflix
comment
or
them.
whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we're always looking for new stuff where we have our downtimes. So, all right, well, hit the subscribe button and we will see you around. Bye.
Bye.